Nerazzurri fans from all over the world, welcome to the Interglobe. What a sad day. What a sad day. Udinese-Inter 3-1. I would say that it was an unplugged Inter. We just saw Inter unplugged, like those concerts they used to make in the 90s on MTV. That's it, without a plug. No electricity, no energy. The whole team was so slow. Even slow-mo guys, the slow-mo guys on YouTube, you should check them out, they're amazing. And we have the slow-mo squad at the moment. Everyone is so freaking slow. Let's have a look at the game as usual and then at the players. In terms of game, horrible approach. Again, Inzaghi's responsibility, of course. We were arriving always second on the ball, losing all the duels. And I think it's not by chance that we are, in general, apart from this game, we are second to last in dribblings in Serie A. So this says a lot, and I don't think it's just a matter of Perisic that's not with us anymore. I think the problem here is honestly that no player has enough personality to try and just dribble, go. They try, they're scared, they're fragile. So this is a piece of information that should make us think. Also, it's the third defeat in 7 games, 3 out of home, and all 3-1 after winning first. So when you win 1-0 and you lose all the games in this way, it means that you have a psychological problem. And this is something that we need to work on. Although I'm honestly not sure that there's space to work on this with Inzaghi. That's why I'm talking about dead man walking or dead coach walking, because it seems like it's in the air that Inzaghi kind of lost control of the team. And this is the beginning of the end usually. So I struggle to understand how we can go back to a normal situation with Inzaghi. It takes a lot of luck and personality, and we have neither of those at the moment. So the game was approaching the wrong way. Yes, we scored after 5 minutes by chance, and then we just got hit by their speed. This is something that was evident. There was a play in the second half in which Acerbi passed the ball to Gagliardini, who didn't understand what Acerbi was doing, and the ball went out. This for me is like a nice picture of what is Inter today. Not only in terms of quality and mentality, in terms of relationship between players, and also in terms of quality of players, We're talking about Acerbi and Gagliardini in the end. We got also 2 goals. We conceded 2 goals on a free kick and a corner, which is also something unacceptable from a team that's so physical like ours. And so all in all, after they scored the first goal, we had a good 20 minutes in the second half, but then that's all. That's all we've been able to do, basically. We suffered the first goal a bit unluckily with that own goal by Skriniar, but the second goal, De Vrij. Okay, let's go to the players. Andanovic, I would say, was not bad. On the 63rd minute, he almost made a miracle, so a great save. And for the rest, I think, okay, when you get 3 goals, you never usually have a good grade, but he was not one of the worst today. Skriniar, who was unlucky on the own goal, was very bad instead. He's just not there. We don't have the Skriniar of last year. He's losing contrast, and most of all, he's slow. A lot of players just go past him with no difficulty at all. So Skriniar, very bad. Acerbi actually was the best in defense. That's why I was surprised when he took him out 10 minutes from the end for De Vrij. So good for Acerbi. Bastoni, one of the worst. It's been already more than a month that he doesn't understand anything. He doesn't have the control of the ball he used to have. In defense, he's always far from the man that he should mark. So very, very bad. He had a nice shot at one point with this left volley that he made, but that's definitely not enough. Also, he's nervous, and he got a yellow card for nothing, basically. Dumfries, nice header at one point, but again, talking about dribblings, he never tries to dribble, not even in situations where you have to do it because it's basically the only thing you have left. At the 89th minute, he was on the wing. Instead of trying to go, he passes back. You know, this tells a lot also about the technical limits of this player, who is definitely strong and fast, but technically he needs to grow faster than what he's doing. Then we have Barella, awful. Yes, he scored, but you know, too many heel touches and too many times in which he gets mad with his teammates, so that's not acceptable at all. On the third goal, he was completely still, like a statue, while the other players of Udinese were moving around, so that's also something to notice. And I also noticed one thing that really made me go crazy. When the ball went out and he went to recuperate the ball, he did it, you know, almost like, running, but not, like we're losing and we need to catch up. No, running normally. Just, I don't want you to do like Passarella, who in the past broke a leg of a boy who wasn't giving him the ball, I think, during Sampdoria-Inter back in the 90s. But I demand some urgency in your movements, dear Barella. Brozovic, even worse than Barella. Nervous, not precise, no leadership at all, no leadership. He drags players and team members down. He doesn't act as a leader, he just complains all the time. So, together with Barella, really a couple of nervous and useless players at the moment. Also, Brozovic, to make his situation worse, he got the 4th yellow card, so he will miss Inter Roma. In 7 games, he got 4 yellow cards. Do you think that's possible, believable? I would fine him if I was Inter. Mkhitaryan, just slow. Never got into the game, and maybe he should have been given more chances to play, not just take him out at 30 minutes, but he wasn't good enough. Darmian, never excellent and never poor. He does always his job, so he did it even this time. Dzeko, very good until he was on the pitch, with some headers and some plays for his mates. And then Lautaro, not enough. If you're a top player, one of the most paid, if not the most paid in the squad, you need to do more than what Lautaro did yesterday. Let's go to the substitutions. Gagliardini, horrible. Di Marco, Gagliardini, there's not much to say. It's not his fault. We know how he is, so the fault is of the coach who puts him on the pitch. Di Marco, he kind of lost his elegant touch with his feet because he made 3 shots to the moon, but he at least had the right approach and the right drive when he came in. De Vrij, probably this is the worst performance, not only since he's at Inter, but in his career. First, he gives the corner kick for free to Udinese, and then he doesn't mark the man he's supposed to mark. Can you do worse than this? Not really. Correa, awful again. He came on with drive this time, but with the completely wrong drive. The drive that makes you make faults, and the drive that makes you kick the ball away nervously. But in conclusion, doesn't bring to any benefit for the team. Also, he has this kind of delirium. He thinks he's God, and after dribbling 2 players at the very end of the game, instead of passing the ball, he tries to dribble the third. So, even stupid. Not only without drive, but even stupid choices. You're a 188 centimeters player. You are powerful, but you're like a butterfly on the pitch, like a little butterfly. After 5 years, Inzaghi didn't realize yet that you are not a good forward player. You're just like a circus player that can do well technically, but in that position, you basically don't do well ever. Okay, so we talked about Gallia, about Di Marco, about De Vrij, about Correa, and we have to talk about D'Ambrosio as well. I am happy about D'Ambrosio because he closed with a diagonal a very dangerous play of Udinese, and he prevented them from scoring. And then he also got the shot on goal in that play in which they shot like 3 times in the same play. He was very good in opposing his body to the shot of Udinese's player, and we managed not to get a goal. Let's end up with Inzaghi. So first, he puts on the pitch Dzeko instead of Correa. and I think he did so because he thought that he would not be dominated during the game, so he thought that we would attack mostly, and that's why he put Dzeko. But it didn't go this way, so basically we were dominated in the first half, and in the second half, when we started growing, he takes out Dzeko and he puts Correa. So he kind of did the opposite choices of what he should have done, basically. And so this was the first mistake that he made. The other thing is this, obviously, these 2 substitutions after 30 minutes. I mean, okay, you can take out Bastoni because Bastoni did really shit, but you can't take out Mkhitaryan after 30 minutes and put in Gagliardini. You simply cannot. So this is a pure mistake, as simple as that. Yeah, of course, he wanted to kind of change the mood of the game by giving this sort of electric shock, but it didn't work at all. It didn't work at all. So when in the second half he takes out Dzeko and puts Correa, you should instead put Correa in and not Dzeko out. Again, lack of personality. Let's try to win these games. A tie doesn't do anything for us. Let's try to win it. Why do you take out Dzeko in this moment? He was one of the best on the pitch for Inter. Anyway, he demonstrated once again not to have personality. I have to say that at least he was good in admitting how terrible we played and what an horrible situation we are in. So he realizes this, because before yesterday, he never admitted it. And so, you know, this is already at least a good sign, recognizing the problem. But zero personality, and a sad last note, usually to win championships, you need to lose in one season like 3-4 games, and we already lost 3 after 7 games, so that says it all. Okay, thank God we have a break now. Let's hope that Inter Roma will be more satisfying of a game. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please punch the like button, subscribe, and even in these situations, as always, Forza Inter.